Lahat tayo will have access to food. We will not go hungry. That's what food security is. In essence, there must be food. We must have access to it economically and physically. Now we have physical access to food, but we don't have economic access to it. That's the problem that we have.
Ako po, ay nag-take up side dyan. Pag-lockdown, hindi po ako pinibiyahe kasi mauuli po. Ngayon, pinayagan po ni Isko Moreno para may makabiyahe kasi wala na po siya ibibigay ayuda. Ay, hirap ang kita namin ngayon, yung pandemic, yung walang pamasahe, iba. Isang sabi ng pasahero, 20 lang, sige, okay na, sasakay ko na. Kung magkano binabayad nila. Kung nag-lockdown, may na lang ang kita. Ito na, sandaan, isang 150. Masawa ko, kita, isang 150 lang, isang 120. Tinatanggal niya na po sa labain. Pag wala po kami makain, binibigyan po ako ng kapatid ko. Kasi wala po, mahina po ang anak buhay ko. Hindi ako basta-basta kumikita. Ay, humiwalay na sa akin. Pero nagtatrabaho siya. Binibigyan lang po kami minsan. Hindi na nagsapat ang kinikita ko kasi lalo tapos nangutang pa ako. Nangutang pambiling bigas, nangutang pambiling ulam. Hihingi po kasi ako nangutang ko sa mga kapitbahay namin minsan. Kumain nga ako minsan, mantika at toyo eh.
Mga kapuso, we have to know about food security. You know why? Because we have a health crisis in the pandemic, we have an economic crisis as evidenced by the increasing number of people who are hungry and the increasing number of people who are malnourished. Kailangan natin pag-usapan yan because it has very, very strong future impact. So, let's hear it from the newsmakers themselves. Pinauuhin natin ngayong gabi sa Newsmakers ay si Secretary William Dar, Agriculture Department.
Magandang gabi po, Winnie.
There are 59 million Filipinos now suffering from moderate to severe lack of consistent access to food.
Tama po.
Paano nyo ho ibababayan?
Mayroon tayong National Nutrition Council overseeing itong nutrition targets natin. This is part of the oversight ng Department of Health. I'm not saying na binabalik ko yung problema sa kanila, but we are part of that solution. We are part of that council. That's why inelevate natin doon sa food security development framework yung quality food production.
Alright.
This time around, equally important po yung quality of food.
What are your targets for food security reduction in terms of hunger? Never mind nutrition at this point.
In terms of the food supplies, we have enough food supplies. Ang problema ngayon, kung mayroon bang kakayanan na bumili ng ating mga poorest of the poor. That's why social amelioration was given.
Excuse me, Secretary Dar, social amelioration program has not been completed.
Yeah, I know. That's still a challenge. In the case of producing enough food supplies, mayroon po yun.
Ayon.
Mayroon tayong sapat na pagkain. The other side of that would be the ability to buy food.
But Secretary Dar, kayo ang pinuno ng Food Security Task Force ng IATF. And the ability to buy food is very much determined by the quantities that the government is going to release to the people who have been terribly shocked by this pandemic, lost their jobs, temporary, they cannot go to work, etc. How much effort are you as DA Secretary giving to trying to get the government to give what it should be giving to these people so that they are food secure?
Ang tuka po ng Task Group on Food Security, which is led by us, the Department of Agriculture, is to produce enough food. We have shown during the last 5 months na may enough na pagkain. The question that can be asked now is available ba yung pagkain doon sa mga merkado na dapat bibilhan ng mga public, or are they affordable at this point in time? The latest food inflation data last June and this July, di na po mataas yung contribution ng food inflation. Yun po ang positive outcome naman ng enough food supplies that's to be bought by the public.
So Secretary Dar, what I'm hearing from you is yung production ng rice, vegetables, chicken, etc. walang problema. Walang problema rin ang pagdala ng mga produkto sa mga markets o sa mga citizens. Ganun ba?
Let me clarify. Itong last 3 months now of the lockdown, halos nawala na yung initial problems nung first month ng lockdown, kagaya yung mga movement ng food supplies kasi sa mahigpit na pag-iimplementa ng checkpoints ng iba't ibang local government unit. At yung movement ng food supplies ay talagang naasikaso.
In other words, yung mga tao dito sa Metro Manila, wala silang maproproblemahan tungkol sa pagdating ng mga pagkain. Ngayon, that's the supply side. Now, the demand side, nakikita natin na yung mga tao nawalaan ng jobs, and the government came in to supposedly help them. Kaya meron kayong sa Department of Agriculture, meron kayong 8.5 billion for this program and 13.5 billion for another program. According to the data that we have, the Department of Agriculture did not spend all that money. Is that a fact?
On top of the regular budget na mayroon tayo, which we did refocus them towards increasing productivity and increasing food production. Kasi yun ang pangangailangan. Ang nakuha lang natin na dagdag sa national government dito sa budget ay 8.5 billion. At ito yung ginamit natin dagdag dun sa budget ng rice production natin. Yun po, ongoing yun. Yung RCEP naman, yung RCEP ay 10 billion a year. 5 billion for mechanization, 3 billion for seeds, distribution, inbred, then training and extension, at saka credit. Last year, very late yung procurement. So halos dito na sa 2020 ginagawa yung karamihan ng procurement sa farm machineries worth about 10 billion.
Secretary Dar,
Opo.
Philippine Chamber of Agriculture and Food, ang presidente si Danilo P. Fausto, said that the 32 billion proposed supplemental budget is inadequate and might leave the exclusions of not properly addressed. Sabi niya that the stimulus package for agriculture should be focused on productivity in anticipation of increased food demand and consumption in the sector. Ano bang reaction niyo to that?
Yung stimulus package natin, ang submission po namin ay 66 billion. Yung na-approve ng Senate last week ay 17 billion out of the 66. Yung portion ng House of Representatives for this Bayanihan Part 2, meron silang in-approve out of the 66B na 20 billion. Ngayon, the BICAM on the Bayanihan Part 2 will happen next week. And hoping that we will get out of the 66B, 20 billion to jumpstart yung stimuli for agriculture. Yung sinasabi ni Danny Fausto ay yun po ang hinahatak natin. We will use technology and innovation to jumpstart improving productivity per unit area, leading to much higher level of food production. At the same time, seeing to it also that income will be much higher, income of the farmers and fishers.
In other words, you need 66 billion.
We need 66B on top of the regular budget.
As far as food security is concerned, the production aspect seems to be all right. It is the access, the economic and physical access to the food that is wrong, but that is still government's fault. That is essentially what I said. Ang Department of Agriculture is the one given the burden of assuring food security, and that food security includes the demand. What has the government done during these past 6 months when we have the COVID pandemic to try to address the problem of food security.
That's why may dabuti po natin na papatupad ng plant program. Now, what's the goal of this plant program? To increase the food sufficiency levels of various commodities, basic at saka prime commodities na kailangan ng ating mga mamamayan. Itong plant lang po itong April na umpisahan po.
Ilang seed packages o ilang plant ang binigay nyo sa Metro Manila para malaman natin kung sino ang nakaka-benefit from this.
Dito sa urban agriculture for crops and livestock, which is the distribution of seeds and planting materials. At ang target po natin ay 1 million beneficiaries. Ang naserve na natin ay 821,000.
Kailan po naibigay sa inyo yung mga boto?
Yung buwan baka July, maaga pa siguro mga 3 ng July.
Ano-ano pong klaseng mga pananim o binhi yung ibinigay sa inyo?
Marami po, may ampalaya, may talong, may mustasa, may pechay, may kangkong, may okra, may upo. Marami tayong may mais, mga buto na mais, tsaka yung mga sitaw.
Madali po ba na magpatubo ng mga ganong binhi po dito pa sa?
Madali lang po pagpasalo po, mga 3 araw yan.
Napakinabangan niyo po ba sila ng yung mga tanim po? Napakinabangan niyo po ba?
Opo na, ano yan eh, pag bumunga yan mga gulay, pag hindi man maubos, bibinta namin yan sa palengke.
Sapat po ba ito para tugunan yung pangangailangan nila sa pagkain?
Hindi naman siguro. Hindi rin kasi syempre matagal naman na mamunga siya, tsaka hindi maganda yung lupa nga natin eh. Hindi maganda talaga. Kailangan pa natin ng abono.
Do you think that this is going to help the Metro Manilans?
Oh yes, ma'am, we are sure. Marami pang nagre-request na additional areas, additional communities. 2 agencies po ang binigyan natin ng responsibility for Quezon City and Caloocan City kasi malalaki itong 2 syudad na ito. Binigyan po natin ng Agricultural Training Institute na sila yung lead institute dito na mamimigay at mag-training at mag-monitor at mag-evaluate. Dito sa the rest of Metro Manila, it is the Bureau of Plant Industry ang binigyan po natin ng authority and responsibility to help and work with the various communities and local government units po.
Urban community, saan sila makaka-plant?
Not all the communities can go there, mas lalo yung mga squatter communities.
Hindi ba sila ang mas kailangan ng lahat? They need it the most.
Ang ating methodology po ay ang may token na matumulong, mas lalo na po kung mayroon na public lands ng syudad, ay sila dapat mag-organisa at kami tutulong. Ganun po ang ginagawa po natin.
Okay.
Kasi kukunti naman yung tauhan natin, we are partnering with the local governments na sila na yung mag-identify yung community gardens for the poorer segments of the society.
Thank you very much, sir. I enjoyed the discussion.
Anytime po, Winnie.
Alam nyo, mga kapuso, ang problema sa ating, from our point of view, is that as far as the physical presence of food is concerned, andyan dyan. Ang problema, hindi natin na-access. The pandemic has forced people not to work when they should be working or not to be able to earn money when they should be earning. Who must step in to make us tawid through this crisis? That's what the government is for. And the government, I think, has not been doing its job properly. The social amelioration program is too little and too late. The SAP is not being replicated. So what is going to happen to the people who need the food, nothing is going to happen to them. And so, our hunger will increase, our malnutrition will increase, which will have tremendous impact for the future.